How can we share our truths with unbelievers? Hi, everyone. I'm Thomas. Welcome to my channel. I do educational videos on all kinds of different subjects. For right now, I've been focusing on the tree of life. And this is an ancient diagram that is about many things, but the way that it is commonly used is it's a map of our faculties of consciousness. And as you see, it's got 10 different circles, which are spheres. And they're numbered 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then we have the abyss right here, which is an implied circle or sphere. And then we have a 0 above the tree. So that's a total of 12 different faculties of consciousness. And we can use this model to kind of prioritize things in our lives. The lower the number is, the more important it should be in our lives. As we move further up the tree to the lower numbers, we get closer and closer to, spiritual perfection. And, it's a great way to categorize things. And it's also a mnemonic device that you can use, to be able to make like snap decisions, to be able to evaluate things. Now, the 12 different faculties of consciousness, briefly, are the 10th sphere is like our survival or instinct. The 9th sphere is our domestic consciousness, what we're getting the first years of our lives growing up in the household, where we are highly receptive to our influences, and then we observe and we memorize, and then we imitate. So, but it's blind. It doesn't matter whether we're imitating, so-called good behavior or bad behavior. We don't make that discernment there at the 9th sphere. It's just blind imitation. The 8th sphere is somewhat the same, but it's for the public sphere, or the so-called real world, where we are exposed, as we grow up and we start going to school and going out into public, we are exposed to all the conventional wisdom and the expert opinion, the people in the white lab coats, and the professors and the media, and they tell us what we're supposed to believe, and we believe it and we rationalize it. We come up with logical reasons why this should be true. They feed that to us, and to the extent that we accept it, we can in ourselves move into the 8th sphere and become one of those experts, or become at least common sense, vehicle of common sense. But whereas this is about the real world, the 7th sphere is about the imaginary world. So the 7th sphere is for people who, sniff the 8th sphere and they find it lacking. They're like, the conventional wisdom says this, but, the facts, the reality is different. The conventional wisdom says that it's okay to eat as much sugar as you want. All the commercials and so on, they tell us that that's fine, or that, your diet has nothing to do with your health. But the reality is different. So people move over here to the 7th sphere, and they imagine a better 8th sphere, a better world. They imagine something better, and they use their creative skills, their intuitive skills, their inspiration in order to create something different. Usually, it might be some art or a song, or maybe it is a prose, or it could be an invention, and they make commentary on this to try to improve upon this. So the seventh sphere is for the creative spark, inspiration, intuition, and pleasure principle. Okay, and then the inspiration is what kind of drives them even to go further up the tree into the sixth sphere, which is our center. As you see, the six is connected with everything, and this is really where we are. If it's a map, it would say you are here, and this is our free will faculty. This is our ability to pay attention and to make decisions. But unfortunately, a lot of our attention is directed here down the tree toward our conditionings and our attachments, our addictions. We spend too much time uh, focusing on this, paying attention to this, and the spiritual fulcrum would be that we need to turn ourselves around and focus on the upper part of the tree into our more spiritual aspects, even though our spiritual aspects are not really developed at this point. And so that creates some kind of a fear, because we're kind of looking into the unknown, and the unknown is where fear gets generated. So we have to do it in spite of the fact that we're afraid of it. And that's the main battle at the sixth sphere, is to be able to do something even though it's scary. And then once we do turn around and focus on the higher parts of the tree, the first thing we focus on is the fifth sphere, which is our sense of justice. And this is embodied in the law of karma. For every action, there's equal and opposite reaction, and so on. And this is the enforcement of the natural law. So this is how we can, if we are up here, we can, use karma as really our teacher. We do something, and then we get feedback. This is, if you do this, then this is what happens. And we can recognize, hey, maybe that wasn't the right thing to do, because, I created a lot of karma, which is more or less, karma is like waste and violence, violation. And it's the enforcement of the law. The articulation of the law is over here at the fourth sphere. And this is, theories of everything and cosmologies and holy books that purport to describe everything in life and how they all fit together and how they are interrelated and their form and function. So these are internal investigations. And whereas the eighth and seventh sphere are really about the surface, the appearances. These are about form and function. So like how things really work, like underneath the surface. Okay, then this is also universal love, universal language. Then the abyss is about our psychic powers, which is our ability to tune in and recognize omens, and then to be able to act upon them. Omens are the universe's language of really what's important, what should we be paying attention to. So this kind of helps us here, because it tells us, these are things that are important to pay attention to. When you see synchronicities and coincidences and uncanninesses and recurring themes and numbers in your life, those are messages for you to pay attention to this, what's going on, and perhaps to be able to act upon them. Then we have 3, 2, and 1, which are our divine faculties within: omnipotence, all powerful; omniscience, all knowing or wisdom; And then omnipresence, all present everywhere at once, unifying all of us because we all have uh, the same spark within us. And then the zero above the tree is like a mystery or a nothingness. It's the part of the creator that we are not privy to, and that we only can grasp indirectly. Okay, so those are just a thumbnail of how the tree, how you can calibrate the tree. And again, the tree is something that you can use for yourself. So just use those as rough guidelines, but you determine yourself what these things mean based on those rough guidelines. You know, everybody has a different set of experiences, everybody has a different perspective, and they're all valid. And you know, so those are just really rough guidelines, and you can as you learn the tree more and more, you can kind of tweak those little meanings in order to, you know, match your personal experiences. You just must do so conscientiously. Okay, the 12 faculties of consciousness of the tree, you're supposed to be able to describe anything with these 12 faculties. So what I've done in order to teach the tree is to break down the tree, miniaturize it, shrink it down, and apply it to each one of the spheres themselves. So I break down each one of the 12 faculties into its 12 sub-faculties. So 12 sub-faculties here, 12 sub-faculties here, and so on, for a total of 144 sub-faculties, or what I call fractal faculties, that are equated to our stages of life, or our dramatic stages of life. And so there's 144 separate little dramas that we must negotiate as we move through our path in life. And if you would like me to send you a free copy of a list of those 144 fractal faculties, just click the link in the description. I'll send one out to you. It'll help you to negotiate all the teachings and to assimilate all these teachings that I'm presenting as I go through all 144 fractal faculties, one each in every video. Today's video, how can we share our truths with unbelievers, is stage number 81. And stage number 81 corresponds to the fourth sphere. So it's in the fourth sphere, and it is the third fractal of the fourth sphere. So fourth sphere is universal law, universal language, universal love. The fourth sphere also corresponds to success. This is the planet Jupiter, whereas the planet Venus here, 7, is like minor success. The fourth sphere is like a major success. And then also, it's the third fractal. So the third sphere is about synchronization through sound, omnipotence, all powerful, and it has to do with basically you're learning to love, to exercise extreme control over yourself. So it's basically learning to love austerity, to be able to really master control over yourself, so that you can learn to love anything. So those are kind of the factors that are going to be involved here at stage number 81. It's called strategic unconditional love offering. Again, the love, unconditional love, loving your enemies, and being giving, seeking nothing in return. That's a fourth sphere quality. So this number 81, strategic unconditional love offering. Stage number 81 is about conclusively presenting our message and gifts to the world. Our secret mission, after spending years preparing the communication for the purpose of presenting to naysayers. Turn around the haters. We present our side timelessly against all odds and carry the day. They have to give it to us. We are convincing on a cultural level. We are persuading by getting, by leading, luring, and baiting others to convince themselves. By making a painstaking presentation and documentation on their own terms, in their own language, for the positive advantage of all humanity. We spent almost a lifetime on this to present, to persuade the audience of our unique, our unusual perspective. A planned attempt to broadcast love. Only if we don't take it personally, don't make assumptions, have expectations, or take ourselves too seriously. If we're by now more persuasive and more articulate than when we started. A Showtime presentation. Put it on a silver platter. In the O-phase lingo, his kind of chatter. Serve it up special with garlic and ginger, platters of silver with long forks and pincers. Serve it up now, under glass, never fresher. Serve it up, Sam, like Hassan Pfeffer. Maybe only a few are persuaded, but it's not a popularity contest. Enjoy the margins, the fringes. The powers that be's extermination agenda is programmed for the middle of the bell curve, by definition. What rules do we have that we will never violate? If needed, put our life on the line to offer love to the petty tyrants. Roll with the punches. Roll with the tricks. Fight front. Don't fight back. Anticipate and prepare for the attack we're going to get. Not on the merits, but ad hominem. Turn it around on the spot. Not our cheek, but the attack. Or avoid it entirely. But we must remain open to be persuaded ourselves. We may be wrong or less right than we originally thought. Others' perspectives may expand ours. Explore their viewpoints with empathy and curiosity. Satyagraha, truth force. We don't know how much we have to give until we actually start trying to give. Through giving to others, we get immunity, we get wealth, we get success. But that's not the point, and that's not the motivation. Okay, there, that is number 81, the third fractal of the fourth sphere, strategic unconditional love offering. And that is the video for today. If you made it to the end, I very much appreciate that. And you can also appreciate me by clicking the like button, and you can share the video and subscribe to the channel. There is also my Cash App and my Venmo that are on there if you'd like to give a donation for further research into all these esoteric topics. And otherwise, stay tuned for future videos and have a nice day.